Hey guys, welcome back to Build and Chat. We are, going to be changing things up a little bit today because I got an order for some terrain from my DM for our upcoming campaign, so I have got some work to do. And I wasn't quite headed down the right path. So, let me tell you what we got as an order from him. Sewer terrain. City of the Dead, which I found out, and I didn't know this because I'm not deep into the lore of Waterdeep. I thought I was doing City of the Dead, but I wasn't. So City of the Dead in Waterdeep is actually a lot of greenery and statues and celebration of the dead, not skeletons and goo and bleh and blah, blah, blah. So we'll be working on that. He said he needs a 4-story tavern. Yeah, right. A vault. Cool. Some city road tiles, storefronts, a tower, and a ship with a submarine. Okay. So we'll see what of this we can get into. I mean, obviously not all today. We're going to do one thing today. But I do want to keep working on this mausoleum because I like this little guy and it's turning out pretty well. And I'm kind of excited about that texture there. I think that's going to work really well. I had such a weird week. Lots of people sick in the family, lots of stuff going on. I was sick a couple days ago, but and we still got some people down for the count today. So I didn't get to as many things as I wanted to this week, but I did put these other pieces on this morning. So hopefully they'll be dry enough to deal with. And there's one more thing. I didn't black bomb this because there's one more thing I want to do to this before I do that, I realized. So first thing is I've got to, and we'll be working on this today. We're also going to be working on making some sewer tiles because I don't have any and I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. So we'll be doing that. So I'm going to trim this up just a bit because it's hanging over. This isn't quite dry, so I'm not going to want to black bomb it for a little bit, but we'll do it at some point during the show. And just throw some black paint on it. Well, you know, the paint and Mod Podge mixture that I have. We'll just slop some of that on there. And I don't want this much texture on these walls. This is a cool texture, but I don't want this much of it. So I'm hoping that the Mod Podge mixture will kind of fill in a bit. And that'll be good. So, let's see here. Alright, so now, the other thing that I want to do with this before I black bomb it is, I realized that I don't want these to be wood, I want them to be stone block. So, we're going to have to carve some stone block in here. And I want to do that before I black bomb so that we're not having to black bomb twice. So, I'm going to start with cutting some... Actually, I'm going to start with drawing some lines on here so I can see where I'm cutting because I can't see that. So, we're going to cut them out and then we're going to widen them a bit. And it doesn't have to be spectacularly good. And we'll try to get these about the same. I'm not going to worry about a ruler or measuring or any of that kind of stuff. Close enough is good enough for this. I tend to freehand things a lot, if you haven't noticed, chat. That's a thing I do. Because I can't be bothered to do a bunch of math most of the time. It just annoys me. And this is all supposed to be fun, right? So I just don't do it. Because math is hard. there. And then we got to get the insides too. Don't forget the insides, chat. You were gonna forget them, weren't you? I know you were. Oh, I know you were. So yeah, I think this will work a lot better than just flat wood. It'll make more sense anyway. Now, because this is soft wood, I should be able to do the same kind of technique that we do with foam for doing the brickwork, which is, you know, score it with a knife and then widen it with a pencil. I have to go a little harder than a pencil. Get needle file or something to do it, but same basic technique. So, and I think I forgot the insides over here. I did. You let me forget them, chat. How could you? How could you, chat? Thought you were watching out for me. Alright, so that looks about right for blocks, doesn't it, chat? I think so. I think that'll work. Alright, now we gonna, oh, forgot that one. Did I forget that? Oh, I just can't see that one. It's fine, chat. Now we're gonna slice these just a bit. Doesn't have to be terribly deep. Putting almost no, well, just a little bit of pressure on the knife because I don't want to go too deep. I think I am, rather than trying to use a pencil, I think I am going to use a needle file for this because it'll be much easier to get some shape into them. Also, when you're cutting towards yourself like this, which is probably not the best of ideas in most cases, I'm doing it because A, I've got a lot of control over this knife, and B, I'm not putting much pressure on it, so I'm not pulling very hard. But if you're ever cutting towards yourself, you want to be very, very careful, and always keep your other little fingies out of the way. You want to keep your other little fingies safe. Alright, so I think I got them all. So now I gotta find the right needle file. Sorry, chat, I've got that earworm in my ear because, well, I mean, Stranger Things, and Caitlin has been walking around singing that song like constantly, so now it's in my head. But what are you gonna do? I mean, it's a good song. I grew up with it. I was the kids in Stranger Things, so you know, I like the song and the movie. That's one of my favorite movies from when I was growing up. But holy crap, when you get a song like that in your head and can't get it out, that's the worst. All right, here's what I'm looking for. Something that's got a bit of a, I don't even know if you can see that, but it's got a bit of a triangular shape on it. So I'm just going to use this surface so that it's Gives me a bit of a triangular indentation. And I'm just gonna file it a bit. I mean, these are metal files. They're for filing metal, not wood. But when you're working at this scale, it doesn't really make a lot of difference. So this is just gonna be a tad tedious, but we'll get through it. Let's see, that's just not going very deep. Let's try this side. No, that's not going wide enough. This is fine. It's fine, chat. Just hope I don't spill my coffee shaking the table like this. That's all I'm worried about, chat. My coffee. Ow! Poke myself. So, I mean, you can't see this right now because cameras, I can barely see it. But it's making a little indentation in there that, you know, will get picked out more when we do all the highlighting and stuff. It's not much of an indentation though. Shoot. This is not working as I had hoped. All right, let's try this. It's got a little more grip on it. Oh yeah, that's better. We'll just turn it, the edge on, so it makes more of a triangular. There we go. That's going much better, chat. Much, much better, chat. Smush that all around. Mostly dry, but I was putting a lot of pressure on that, holding this thing. So isn't this fun, chat? You sitting here watching me do this? Oh, that's going much faster though. I like it. I think this is a little bit softer wood. This is balsa wood. I think the other stuff is this stuff over here I think is basswood, which is a bit harder. And they a lot of times sell it as balsa, but it's not. It's just not, chat. Oh yeah, that's putting some nice indents in there. That's actually good. I mean, you may actually be able to see that. See? It's putting some indentations in there. Get it focus. Will it focus there? Yeah. So that's actually working fairly well. Just that other file just didn't have a lot of grit on it for some reason. They're the same set, but so I don't understand that. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a goofy terrain maker. Don't spill coffee. So we could have done this without scoring it first, but scoring it makes it a lot easier to keep things in line with this. No. That's one of the ones that is not. Apparently it's bad for you, though.
Bad for Joy, she's allergic to it. Oh no, Parkinson's.
And we got 2 doggos today.
I didn't do anything.
What you didn't do? What are you doing?
Nothing.
My daughter's being weird. Because she's weird. She's the weirdo with the beardo. I'm making bricks. Well, stone blocks actually.
Okay, don't stick your paintbrushes in this.
Yeah.
And don't accidentally treat this.
Yeah. Which I've done both of those, which is why she's warning you, because her own father is...
In your pocket.
Oh yeah, I've done that before.
Maybe you shouldn't have them next to each other.
Well, I shouldn't, but it makes for entertaining TV. I mean, duh. Alright, so I think we got all those. And I'm just going to run the file up the edges here to kind of round them off a bit. Because we want them... I gotta be careful about pushing too hard on this. I'm gonna break something. I'm gonna break something. And that won't be fine, Chad. I'll be sad. Don't let me do that. Yeah, just want to get the hard edges off of here so it looks a little more like old worn stone. So I just saw something I didn't realize I could do with this, but these needle files actually are going to be fairly useful for this, because now they're really good at digging out little cracks and stuff, apparently, because I did it by accident. Yeah, this is definitely a harder wood here. Alright, so we just want to put some cracks in this thing, right? I mean, old stone is going to crack. Really old stone is really going to crack. Never-ending story. Am I putting that in your ear? Am I giving you an earworm, chat? God knows I had it all for, well, God, for 3 weeks now. All during vacation, which was really fun, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. Which you probably weren't, but, you know, hey, I'm going to tell you anyway. My show, I'll tell you what I want, right? All right, so that's all done. So now we just want to put some blocks in the ends here. This is a little bit easier because this is foam. So we're just going to draw those in. Does that look about right, chat? Sure, Terrainoob. That's the best looking blocks I've ever seen. And we'll just kind of muck these up a bit where they've, you know, been cracked and little pieces have fallen out and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying, chat, you know, like that, right? That looks like stone, doesn't it? Sure, Terrainoob. You're the best. I love you. Oh, I love you too, chat. Okay. So we're almost done with this. Oh God, I can't get the song out of my head. I'm sorry, chat. Somebody sing something to me so I can get that song out of my head. All right, so this is ready for black coat, but I want to give this a little bit more time to dry there so I don't make a mess of things. Remember last time when I wasn't being patient? All right, so now listen. Here's some disappointing results from last week. Let me get this. I got wood shavings all over the place here. I need to get these out of the way. So, some disappointing results from last week, chat. I'm going to share these with you so you know you can learn from my mistakes. So, these things that we were making last week out of the press board, and I just, you know, rubbed some glue on them and threw some flock on them, the bases for our cemetery stuff. So, I knew that there would be some curling. So, in the past with stuff, what I've done is I've just, you know, because glue is going to shrink up, white glue will shrink up, and it'll pull this stuff if it's not strong enough to withstand it. So I put some books and stuff on top of it to keep it flat, and I left it there for 3 days to let it get dry, you know, real good. And I took it out, and it was flat, and 10 minutes later, this happened. This... no worky. Every single one of them. So I figured, and this has worked in the past, so I don't know if this is something, it's worked with cardboard. I don't know if this is something specific to the chipboard, which is kind of cardboard, but it's, you know, a little bit different, I guess. But even after 3 days of sitting there, which, I mean, the glue had to be dry by then, right? This stuff just completely curled up. So I really can't use these because putting this on the table is just useless. So these are going to go bye-bye, and we are going to come back to that, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut some probably MDF or something like that and make it out of that. So we will do that, but because of that failure, and because I've got a big order of stuff from my DM, I'm going to put that aside for a little bit because I really don't need that for our campaign right now like I thought I did. But I will come back to it because I want some cemetery terrain. What we are going to go work on now is some sewer terrain tiles. So I'm going to start with 2 of them because I want to see how they work. I'm gonna experiment a little bit, but I think I've got a pretty good plan here. I think this will work okay for modular tiles. So what we're going to do, so we actually play on the 1x1 grid. So I cut 6" by 6" pieces of foam, 3/4 foam. Now this is actually part of a board I had made before that they've been using for the D&D, so I just cut it, and we're going to make this dual purpose stuff. So sewer on this side, dungeon tile on this side, and this is already the 1" square. So these are 6x6, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to make this so that, man, these pencils are, I got to get these sharpened. We're going to make this so that we've got it in 2/3. So we're going to have 2 inches of water down the middle, basically. So 2 inches of platform, 2 inches of platform, and 2 inches of water. And then I'm going to make different shapes. So we'll have several that are just straight paths like this, and then we'll have some that are like T paths like this, and then some cross paths, and then some corner paths. So I'll make a bunch of these eventually, but I'm just going to start with these 2. Then I'm going to make some things to put up the back, because I don't want to attach them specifically to this, because I don't know ahead of time, because you know we have this T here, right? Well, the GM may want to have just a pipe here. This is a dead end, or a pipe here, or he may want to attach something, another piece here. So I've got to have bits that come off, right? The walls can be constructed, but it needs to be easy. And I don't think, I'm just going to need a couple of each piece, because we're not going to lay out an entire map. He's going to map it as we go, and we're going to move, because we have to have things in the camera. We've only got so much camera space, so we can't lay the entire thing out, right? I mean, we could, but it would get annoying moving the camera and stuff. So instead, we are going to map as we go. So we've got these little bits, easy to rearrange. So that's what we're going after here. So first thing we need to do is to get my ruler. Now here is where I do have to use a ruler. We want to make the 1-inch grid so that we know where all the stuff is. Now this doesn't have to be uber precise, but needs to be something. So we're just gonna mark every inch, make 3 marks down, because if you make 3 marks and then you put a ruler across it and one of your marks is off, then you know you've got something measured wrong and you need to measure it again before you commit to it. If you've just got 2 marks, you can always make a straight line through that, and you won't know if you measured something wrong. So always make 3 marks. And we're just going to very lightly do this. I don't need deep cuts yet, but I do want it enough to where I can tell where everything is. Now, this is a little hard to see the marks because of the black ink right on it, but it's fine, chat. It's fine, chat. So I did take a look at some, did a quick search for sewer terrain on the interwebs to get some inspiration. Just found this. This was the first things that Google Images pulled up. So I'm not going to do it exactly like this, but I just wanted to kind of get some inspiration for how sewers would, medieval type sewers would look, fantasy type sewers. So we're going to go after this kind of general, stony, old mossy stone with gooey, gross, brackish water in it with debris and crap. Debris. We want some debris. So anyway, that's kind of what we're going to be going after. But, I'm not going to really copy any of that. I want this to be my own thing. But I did want to have some inspiration. And you know what? Copying is fine. I did a lot of that early on when I was learning how to do this stuff. But now I'm more into making it my own. I will use techniques and stuff from other crafters. I mean, I'm not stupid. If somebody's got a really great way of doing something, use it. That's why we make these videos, so that you people can learn. I mean, DM Scotty, Black Magic Craft, Cam Lupian, Terrainoholic, all those guys, and me make these so that you guys can learn these techniques, and maybe it'll make your lives easier, right? So don't be afraid to copy. I do it. But I also like the challenge of figuring out new ways. So, but I will definitely take inspiration from things. Almost every project I do, I look at other projects and real pictures and stuff to get inspiration. Because that's the way art goes, right? So don't be afraid to do that for sure. All right, so this is one grid. We're getting there, chat. This isn't hard, it's just a little tedious. But it's fine, chat, it's fine. This is a little shy of 6 inches, so I'm moving over just a bit so that it's not, so I don't have one side that looks way off. Like I said, this doesn't have to be super precise. About 1 inch is about good enough. Turn around, look at what you see in her face, the mirror of your dreams. Oh my gosh, have you guys ever seen the official video for that song? It is the weirdest video I have ever seen. You should look it up on YouTube. It is, oh my gosh. I don't know what the choreographer was thinking for this, but I mean back in the 80s they were probably all stoned. I don't know, but they're doing some kind of interpretive hand dancing in the video. It's just weird. Just weird. We get a good laugh out of it every time we watch it. I mean, I love the song, but oh my gosh, that video is just bizarre. I mean, a lot of things in the 80s were bizarre, don't get me wrong. But that, even for an 80s kid, that was weird. I mean, compared to that, lace and neon laces, neon shoelaces, were normal. Just saying, you know, parachute pants. Oh my gosh, just going down nostalgia row here. Man, anybody else old enough to remember that stuff? Did any other countries have that crazy crap? Or was it just the US that was nuts? Like, well, I guess everybody would have, because, you know, you get thought leaders or style leaders like Madonna and Sting and the brain went dead. You know what I'm trying to say, chat. Who's the other one? Cyndi Lauper. Those kind of people. They're worldwide stars, so I mean, I guess the styles would follow, right? And other countries would have the same kind of craziness that we had. All right, so now the center two lines. Let me get my OFA. So we're going to make this one a straight one. So we want these two lines here. We want 2 inches in the middle cut out for water. Now we don't need it really deep. Wow, just made a mess of that. Come on, knife. You can do it. Probably should have cut with the grain there. That would have been easier. But it's fine, chat. So we don't need to go real deep, right? Maybe 1/4 inch or something. And we'll just, and I'm going to cut down the middle too, just because it makes it easier to dig this out. We're going to dig out this middle bit. And it's going to be kind of rough, but it's fine. So we're only going to go maybe that deep, because we don't want to lose a lot of structure of the board. We still want it to be pretty strong. And we just need a little bit to put water in, okay? And to go down a little bit. So we're not going to go nuts with going deep here. Actually, I'm gonna get my other. I'm gonna get the bigger knife out because it'll make this part a little bit easier. Also, it's sharper. I gotta get another sharp blade for that little one because I've been using the crap out of that thing. See, we could just pull that up. We're gonna need mo blade. Now, when you get your blade out like this, be very careful. Cut away from yourself. Don't do stoopy things like Terrainoobs does. Now, I wouldn't recommend pulling up like this with the dollar store knives because they're cheap metal and it will break, but these Olfa knives are really strong. And I'm not prying very hard. So I'm trying to make this a little bit smooth. So I'm kind of sawing through this to get a reasonably flat surface going. I'm also don't want to put a lot of pressure, so I'm using the sawing because I can use much less pressure for that. You also want to try to keep it flat because when you're using these knives like this, the tendency is to start cutting down and down and down. You don't want to do that, which I'm kind of doing that. So look, I know I just said cut away from yourself. Not always possible. If you are cutting towards yourself, use very little pressure and just use multiple cuts with little pressure because then you don't have to force the knife. So we're going to start on this side too because I don't want to end up with this side being really low. It's alright if there's a little dip in the middle because it's all going to get kind of covered up anyway, so that's fine, chat. Okay, so we're not forcing the knife anywhere. We're just slicing with it. Important to be safe. You guys know I'm all about the safety. It's fine, chat. Okay. All right, so we want to go a little bit deeper here. And yeah, it's pretty rough on the bottom, but that's okay. It's going to add to the effect of the rough water because we want it kind of gross and a lot of detritus on the bottom and big word, detritus. If you don't know it, look it up, chat. All right. And get rid of the extra clumps. Now, could I do this easier with hot wire tools? Maybe. But A, I don't have portable hot wire tools because I just don't ever use them. And B, I'm not sure that I could get this square of a cut out of that. And maybe if I put it on the hot, even then, because this is so shallow, it'd be doing some weird things. So I just feel more comfortable just cutting it out like this. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so this one we're gonna make into a T intersection. So we're gonna go here, here, and here. So this is going to be a weird one to cut out, but, you know, we'll do it. We'll do it, chat. So we want things about that deep. All right. So this is just stage one of this little fun project. You got to get the, and I'm going to make more of these, but I'm not going to make you guys sit through all of it. I'm just going to show you these two and how we're going to do this. So okay, and then we want this deep over here. And the same over here. Again, we don't want really, really deep because we want it to still have a lot of strength on the table, and we don't want it snapping in the middle, and we don't really need a lot of depth because we just need, and sewers aren't really that, wouldn't be that deep anyway, probably deeper than this to scale, but we just need to give the illusion of some water in here. We can make it look a lot deeper. Doesn't actually have to be that deep. That's the beauty of paints. But we do want to have, you know, a channel to catch the, because we're going to put some acrylic in here, some water stuff, so we do want to have a channel to kind of catch that so that it'll look wet. All right, one more little section. Now this is much easier to cut out actually than the long one because my smaller sections. Duh. Not deep enough, but we'll fix it. It's fine, chat. It's fine, chat. That's how deep we want it. There we go. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, we're going, chat. Okay, so see, now I can fit these together, and I mean, they're not perfect seams, but it's fine, chat. We're, you know, I'm not doing this to sell it, I'm doing it for my board. So see, we can make all kinds of stuff out of this, and it'll go together just fine, and it's not that much work. Yeah, it's a big mess though. Don't, if you're gonna wipe like that, wipe down the blade, not across the blade. Slice your little fingies open. All right, we're gonna get some of this junk out the way. Shoot, I need a trash bag to put this in. My other one is gone. All right, chat, I'm gonna go get a bag and put all this stuff in. I'll be right back in a second, okay? And then I'm gonna tell you all about newest video game addiction. And I'm back, chat. A microphone so you can all hear me. And then get rid of this stuff. If there were bigger pieces, I would keep them for scrap because I use that a lot, but these pieces are not terribly useful for scrap. They're just too thin and too small, and so they go in the bin. Okay, back to these. Hey Sid, how are you doing? All right. How have things been? Hey, happy late birthday, by the way, to you and Frank. It's kind of cool that you guys share your birthday. All right, so we are going to now just roughen these stones up. We are going to do, well, two things going on here. I'm working on this mausoleum still, trying to get it moved along. And we're working on some sewer tiles because my DM put in a big order for terrain for our upcoming campaign, and now I've got lots of work to do, and one of the things is modular sewer tiles. So we're on to that. So now we're just going to make some we're just going to age these blocks a bit, do a bit of sculpting here, pencil sculpting. You know how that goes, chat. You know how it goes with sewer tiles and pencil sculpting, and I mean, these are going to be old decrepit blocks because, you know, ancient sewers and nastiness, and still want to be, I mean, we got to keep enough to see the 1-inch squares, but you don't really have to keep much for that. Yes, I got the gravestones. Thank you very much. So I'll catch you up. I was making some, all right, couple of things that I did wrong. I was making some flat stuff for the graves, and it ended up warping really bad, even though I set books on it for 3 days to keep it flat. So I'm going to have to redo those. B, I found out from my DM, which I did not know, that in Waterdeep, the City of the Dead is not gravestones and nasty looking stuff and things like that. It is actually lots of pretty statues and greenery and celebration of the dead and pretty stuff. So I was kind of heading the wrong way with that. So I'm going to get back to that stuff because I want some anyway. It's always good to have gravestone stuff, or graveyard terrain. But that's not what we need for this campaign, so... But I still wanted to finish up this mausoleum, because I think it would still fit. Because he said there's, like, tombs and statues and mausoleums and, you know, flowers and junk and stuff and things and crap. So I think this may still fit, but I was excited about this, and I want to get it finished up because I want to see how this texture comes out. And I want to see... Well, I was just excited about it. It's a fun little building, and I just want to get it finished and see what it's all about when it's done. So I am going to finish that. We are going to keep working on that, and then I'm going to put together the grave markers stuff sometime soon, because they won't take long, and I want to get them, and I want to paint up those things you sent me because I want to see how all that looks. I'm excited about that. Mausoleum. I will tell you how to spell that. M-A-U-S-O-L-E-U-M. And technically, I don't think this is a mausoleum. A mausoleum is well, it was a specific building, the mausoleum, built for a king. It was a specific thing, but it's kind of come to be a generic term for these types of things, kind of like Kleenex is for facial tissue. So we're just distressing the crap out of these stones. I'm not very good at many things, but spelling was always something I was fairly decent at. So I'm just drawing in cracks and digging out corners and edges and stuff and making things just horribly old and nasty here. Ooh, there's a nice chunk out. That's fun. I'll also just take my fingernail and dig some things. Yeah, that may have been a little big, but you know what? It's fine, chat. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We got this. Other side. So this takes a little while, but this is detail work. So, you know, that's just... Detail work takes a while. Sorry. I'm sorry, Chad. I can't help that. That's just the nature of detail work. I can tell you, though, that pencil carving is much safer than knife carving, especially when I'm involved. And you know this, chat. So how was ReaperCon, Sid? What was the cool things that were there? Hi.
I come bearing gifts.
Ooh. Looky, I got gifts. I got giftses.
Just show them the box.
I got giftses. Ah, yummy.
You're gonna need to hurry up. I'm gonna need you done in like a half hour. We have Nazis to kill.
Oh, you are correct, my lady. Ooh, interview with Ed Pugh. Who's Ed Pugh? Educate me. He sounds like he's really cool. His name is cool. Oh, CEO of Reaper. Well, that's pretty high up there in the corporation. You don't get much higher than that. Thank you, lady. Yeah, one of these days I'll go to a Reaper con, because I'm kind of, the more I'm using Reaper minis and paints and stuff, the more I'm really liking them. And they've been, so far with my orders and things, they've been really good as a company. Like GW, I'm sorry to say, I don't like GW as a company. I just don't. I don't agree with the way that they do business. I don't like their business practices. I don't like how expensive their stuff is. I don't like their product. Other than that, they're great. But mostly it's, I mean, they make great minis and stuff. Their paints suck, but their minis are great. But I cannot agree with the way that they do business and the way that they've treated people. But Reaper has been very, very good. I've been very happy with them. Yes. They most certainly do. And they're innovative with their products. They try to meet their customers' needs. Like, they listen to customers when they say, "Oh, we don't have a mini for this type of thing." They try to source it and find it and get it, and I've been very happy with them. So I'd love to go to a ReaperCon sometime. But it's just that I don't make it to Texas very often. Ever. Because I don't have any reason to go there. There's no family there. It never has been family there. I've got no history in Texas. Got nothing against Texas. I like Texas. Great state. Great addition to the Union. I mean, you know. Good history. Alamo and all that stuff. Davy Crockett. But I don't have any reason to go there. Other than ReaperCon. Well, and now to visit the headquarters of Nightheart Gaming. And see how they work their magic. Yeah. So, you know, that's a thing. But yeah, I really just do like Reaper. I've been very pleased with being a customer of theirs so far. And I don't see any reason for them to cause me to change that belief. I'm gonna have to order some more minis soon too, because I gotta, in addition to the order for terrain from the GM, I got an order for some minis, so I gotta go mini hunting. Hey, do you know if Meeper gonna do the Kickstarter? I might. I'll have to look at it and see what's in it, but I've never done a Kickstarter before because I'm impatient. I can't. Waiting that long to get something that I paid for is just insane. It'd make me nuts. So, but because it's Reaper and I like them so much, I might. I mean, I know you get lots of benefits from it and stuff, but for me, it's more about supporting companies that I think are worthy of my money and support. And they are. Okay, so now I want to... I don't need sandpaper out here. I need a little bit of sandpaper. Little bit of sandpaper for my soul. Wait, that ain't how it goes. $1 a mini. Yeah, I mean, there certainly is no arguing that it's a fantastic value, but...
Move your food.
Move my food?
Dogs.
Oh.
He will reach out.
Yeah, we got some doggos. And one of them's food obsessed. Aren't you, Harvey? Harvey. Speaking of which, I probably ought to eat my breakfast, huh? I'm gonna step away to my cabinet and get some sandpaper. I'm still here, chap, but I need sandpaper. Here we go. I'm back, chat. See how quick that was? It's nice having a little setup where I have all my stuff right here. All right, so I'm just gonna round the. Hello, little friend hiding in there. Just gonna round off the edges a little bit. This is a big piece of sandpaper. I need to get some little mini sanding blocks and stuff, but I just want to round off the edges a little bit because this should be worn down, and you know how it is, chat. And it doesn't take much. We just don't want sharp corners on here because that would just be silly, chat. Okay, and also take this sandpaper and kind of work a little V into here, and since this is across the grain, it'll help straighten it up a little bit because I want some kind of wide stone separations in here. Also going to give it a little rough up. And this is just little quick things. We don't need to go nuts here. So anyway, I was going to tell you guys about our latest video game obsession, me and Wendy. So a couple days ago, Steam had a sale on Sniper Elite 4, which is a game I'd heard a lot about when it came out. It's, I don't know, a couple years old now. Looked really fun. I saw some playthroughs, and that's my type of thing. So I said, what the heck, I'll give it a shot. It was like, I don't know, $9 on sale on Steam. I was like, oh, good, great. Well, it has a cooperative mode. You can play with your friends. So I said, hey, since it's so cheap right now, do you want to try this? And to Wendy, I said that. You want to give this a shot and let's see what it's like? She said, sure. So we got 2 copies and got on there and played a campaign, and oh my god, immediately became addicted to it. And I mean, it's a shoot 'em up game. It's pretty graphic, but you're killing Nazis, so you don't feel too bad about it. They were Nazis after all. I mean, yes, soldiers are people, but Nazis. And also a video game. So, but it is so well done, and we're having so much fun. And so she's like, you got to stream tomorrow? No, I want to kill Nazis. But it's just a well done game, and it's really fun, especially with multiple players. And it's very intense. I mean, we get really into it. So anyway, that's our latest addiction. And honestly, I was surprised that she got as addicted to it as she did, because she's not as into those shoot 'em up games as I am. Like Call of Duty I played a lot of Call of Duty. World War II is really more what I'm into than the shoot 'em up, because the Call of Duty, I only got that Call of Duty because it was World War II. I'm not terribly interested in the Black Ops or any of that stuff. Modern Warfare or anything. I don't know. That style of game doesn't have enough pull for me if it doesn't have the right theme. But World War II, I love World War II history and World War II games. And so that had the right combination. But this is way better because it's more about sniping and slow, methodical thinking through the approach and stuff than just... Yeah, she plays a lot of PvP, that's true. But she, I don't know, she's really into this one. Almost as much as her Skyrim. So Did you guys have a good subscriber session after your birthday party the other night? I had to miss that because it was way past my bedtime. Way past this old man's bedtime. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. I don't know how chatty I'm going to be when I'm playing D&D because I get so immersed in the story that I don't really pay attention to chat as much. I can't pay attention to much else because I get so into the story and my character and stuff. So, looking forward to that. We're going to start that on November 3rd, that first Sunday in November. That's going to be a lot of fun. Because we've actually been talking to, I've been talking to the kids and people about yeah, migraine meds are the worst. Because I get migraines sometimes. Not as bad anymore since I quit smoking, but yeah, they used to get me horribly. You get all nauseous and feel like your eyes are just gonna pop out of your head, or wish somebody would pull them out of your head to make your head feel better. And I tried some prescription meds for migraines and I just couldn't take them because they just messed me all up. It's almost worse than the migraine. But yeah, we're talking to the kids, the D&D campaign. We're talking to the kids. I've been talking to the kids more about, okay, let's think more about story this time, because their first campaign, they're finishing up their first campaign now, and that was kind of them learning D&D and the rules and the how to work as a party and that kind of stuff. So they weren't as concentrating on characters, but they're past the point where they don't need to concentrate as much on the mechanics. So now we can concentrate more on story. So I'm talking to them about metagaming and keeping that out of it, and trying to, hey, we're trying to actually build a novel for the viewers and entertain them with a story, and not just. So we built backstories for all our characters, and we're kind of going through with the DM and working out, here's how things are gonna work for that, and we're trying to build backstories that will fit in with the campaign and can actually be used to make the characters more interesting, so they're not just one-dimensional. Hey, I can roll +3 on my dice. Woo hoo hoo. And I tend to play characters as characters. They have faults, and I will purposefully hamstring them. I don't like to min-max stuff. I would rather have a good story, and characters in stories are not very fun if they don't have flaws and limitations. Superman gets boring after a while because what can beat him? Kryptonite? How much of that is there? Plus, you can't really relate to a character like that very much. I mean, it's fun to see, but it's not terribly relatable. So I try to pull, and I don't like to play characters as myself. Yeah, Lois Lane can beat him, that's for sure. She probably should beat him once in a while. It'd make the stories more interesting, because he gets boring sometimes. I mean, sorry to any Superman fans out there, but honestly, people, give a guy a limitation or a flaw. But yeah, I don't like to play characters as myself. I mean, I've got plenty of flaws, but so does everybody. The whole point of role-playing is to play as somebody else, right? So and to kind of explore character traits that aren't yours to help you understand better other people. So it's stepping into somebody else's shoes and exploring how they would react. I mean, I like Superman too as a trope, and trope is not a bad thing, but you know, he serves a purpose in a literary sense. But he some of his stories get a little boring sometimes because he's not flawed enough, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. What do I know? I'm not a pro writer. I'm just a person. But yeah, I like to play my characters as kind of amalgamations of other people I know and explore things that that I saw them struggling with, to see how it is to struggle with those kind of things. And I don't know, it's maybe it's just me, but I kind of like digging into the psychology and the sociology associated with D&D a lot. So hopefully it'll be very story driven, and we can kind of keep an eye on the metagaming, keep that under control, have the kids learn how to do that a little better. I mean, they're doing pretty good so far. Man, I'm kind of talking and not really paying attention to what I'm doing here. I may be going a little ham on this distressing. Oh man, I'm looking forward to the world building series too that I'm going to do. Hoping to get that started in the next couple of weeks. I'm getting the graphics and stuff together for it, for the thing, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to format it, but that's going to be fun. I really love that kind of stuff. The story making and world building and creating characters and oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that's, you know, like one of the things when I do the world building, that one of the things that we're going to keep in mind is it's a framework for the DM and the players to explore things. It's not a novel. It's not pre-written stuff, because I don't like when DMs try to railroad the players. But I also don't like when players like purposefully derail all the hard work the DM has done either. And yeah, you know, the characters, while mine tend to get more complex, maybe complex isn't the right word, I'm not complex, but while my characters tend to have an idea of exploring certain things with them, I also tend to just explore them as we're playing, so a lot of stuff changes. Birdie is trying to help you type. Huh. Is it Luna? Hi, Luna. Wow, those are some distressed stones. I may have gone a little overboard there. But you know what? It's fine, chat. Yeah, it works. It's still fine. It's fine, chat. Alright, so we've got those distressed. So, I don't think there's anything else. Well, I need to rough up the edges on this one, like I did with this one with the sandpaper, but I don't think there's any more carving I really need to do here, because most of making it look like sewer is going to be in the painting and the the detail work after, so I think these are about ready to get black bombed. As is the Mausoleum. Yeah, 30 more. I'm probably, because we have to have this on camera and we don't have tons of room, so we don't have to lay out a whole sewer system. Well, we can't really lay out a whole sewer system. The sewer system, the map is going to have to be created kind of as we go. So I'm probably going to have maybe three of these, 3 T's, 3 crosses, and 3 corner pieces, because that's about as much as we could all ever set up at once. And we just kind of move, we kind of rearrange as we go and just kind of work one scene at a time. So I think that's probably about all I'm going to make. The problem, I would have made more today, except I ran out of foam. I got to go get some more foam. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, when I started thinking about I need to make these tiles, I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to make tons of them. And then I started thinking about, well, I can't use that many at once, so it's probably not that bad. So let's get this rounded off. Sorry for this annoying sound, but it must be done. I don't think I cut that down far enough. May have to trim this down a little bit. Alpha, alpha. Woohoo! Hey, I just made a new jingle for Alpha. They should pay me for that. Right, chat? Alpha, alpha, woohoo! I mean, who wouldn't want to buy that jingle? That's up there with, you know, the Slinky jingle and all the classics, right? I didn't make that one quite deep enough. And really, I could spend a lot more time trying to make sure these things meet up perfectly, but at the end of the day, it's really not that important. You know, we've got them so that they're, all of them are going to be 2-inch wide things, 2-inch wide water troughs, so that'll be good enough. The fact that some of them are going to be a little deeper than others, it's fine, chat. I mean, honestly, chat, what are you worried about? Just don't worry about it, chat. It'll work. It'll work out, I promise. Just doing a little cleanup here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. Oh my gosh, here's that earworm again. I just cannot get that song out of my head. Dang it. There. Okay. So now, do a little bit of area cleanup and we can get to black bombing some things. Call it black bombing. Usually that's only when you use spray cans. I'm not using spray cans. We're black painting. But I like the term black bombing. It just sounds fun. So that's what I use. Actually, it probably would be fun if I could just put all this stuff in a room and set off like a black paint bomb and just come back and the whole room's just covered in black paint. You know, you set a little timer on it and go out and close the door and hear poof, and then you come back and just everything's painted black, like the walls and the doors and all your terrain and all that stuff. That would be fun. I want to do that, chat. How do I make that happen? I'm not doing a very good job eating my breakfast, am I? Oh yeah, Wendy would love it. That would be her favorite thing. But I mean, just the experience of that would be the best. I got my cables all monkeyed up here. What? Come on, camera. Sorry, chat.
Love what?
For me to figure out how to do an actual black paint bomb.
What is that? Floating in the room?
Yeah.
Oh. You're the one that made the room.
Well, not this room. I wouldn't do it here. This room is too important. All right. Ulfas, I'm done with you for now. Back in your box. Okay. Okay, chat. Here we go. The most exciting part of any project. Not even a little bit. But we'll make it exciting, right? How will we do that, you ask? I don't know. We'll figure something out. All right, mix up. This is just black paint and Mod Podge. So we do a little mixy. Mixy. See, that's how we make it exciting. I sing stupid little songs. Oh, crap. I think I may have Mod Podged the top. Oh. Okay, got to be a little careful with that. Uh-oh. There we go. Whew, Mod Podge is not the best smelling stuff. All right. So one thing about this, chat, is the Mod Podge is kind of thick, so it will fill in some of the stuff. So when you're working with foam like this, you want to cover it. You can't spray paint it because it'll melt the foam unless you get special spray paint, which you can get for foam, but it's expensive and not worth it. It's better just to get, you know, to cover it. If you cover it with something like white glue, or white glue works just fine, or Mod Podge. I like Mod Podge a little better because it's thicker. But some applications I actually just use white glue because it's thinner and it dries and kind of forms a skin. As long as you cover all the foam with that, then you can spray paint it. But the propellants in the spray paint will melt the foam. Now, there are some good times where you want to have that effect. It creates kind of a gooey, melted, kind of cool effect. So if you're doing like a slimy place or something that's been melted, or you know, that kind of thing, then it is great for that stuff. It's actually a desirable effect, but mostly you don't want that. So you do this, and I usually will do 2 coats of this because the first coat, oh, went a little deep there. The first coat won't get all the pink. It's also not terribly thick, so you can still see pink through it, but you'll see that you've missed, once this dries, quite a bit of the pink stuff. So you'll want to go back and do a second coat, most probably, especially if you're going to spray paint it, which I will have to after this because, like a dope, I ordered a big thing of Mod Podge and missed the fact that I was ordering the gloss Mod Podge, so I have to spray this with some flat to get rid of the shine. But it's fine, chat. It's fine, chat. So now we're getting things all blended together here, which isn't that big a deal on this piece because it was all just pink, but on the Mausoleum I think it's going to look really cool once I get the black on it. But I want to save that for last because that'll be way more exciting than this stuff. Make sure you get the sides. Don't forget the sides, chat. Yes, you're going to get it on your fingers, chat. It won't melt you. Well, I mean, unless you're the Wicked Witch of the West. But, you know, hey, who am I to judge, right? I'm not judging. Just saying. Just saying, chat. Alright. So, and because this fills in, that's why I tend to exaggerate the cuts. Because I know some of it's going to get filled in a bit. So you want a little more, and at small scale you want it exaggerated anyway. So that's why it kind of looked like I went, and you know, maybe I did go a little too ham on this, but I don't think so. I think it'll work out in the end. It will work out in the end. It's fine, chat. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You worry too much, chat. You shouldn't worry. Life is good. Do 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 do. I know, right? I can't. That's been my earworm for 2 weeks. I can't get it out of my head because we watched Stranger Things season 3 again with the girls, and now they did it, and then Caitlin's been running around the house singing it constantly, and I can't get that. I mean, the whole entire vacation, I couldn't get that song out of my head, and I still can't. Ah, love that song, but oh my God, earworms are the worst. I won? What did I win? The singing competition? Doubt that. Okay. Bye. Alright, so let's move things around just a bit here. I earwormed you! Yay! Somebody else is going through my pain. Have you watched Stranger Things, Sid? Oh, here's the fun part. When this all gets tied together. See how this texture looks here. Now this, I mean, this is not, except for this little bit here, this isn't for protection of the foam. This is more for just tying everything together and getting it based for paint. But I do enjoy this part because it makes it look like one piece instead of a bunch of things that have been put together. A bunch of trash and garbage. Yeah, the girls loved that. We went to Halloween Horror Nights this year, and the only reason we went, I don't know, 15 years ago. And Halloween Horror Nights isn't really worth the money, in my opinion. But, I mean, I guess if you're really into Halloween and really into not being scared, it's a thing. But we went because they had a Stranger Things haunted house. And that was, the girls were like, oh, we gotta go see that. And me and Wendy were like, oh, we gotta go see that. And it was really good. They did a good job. It wasn't scary, but it was really good. But, and we also went and saw the Ghostbusters house. And that was really good. Because they had our favorite thing from the whole movie in there. In the first Ghostbusters movie, when they're doing their first Ghostbuster at the hotel, and they go up the stairs and they're shooting off the proton packs, and they shoot across the poor lady that's doing the cleaning and stuff, and she ducks behind there and she goes, "What the hell are you doing?" We say that all the time, and they had that in the haunted house. It was great. We were so happy about that. And then she crawls out from behind the little cart, and she tries squirting her little squirt bottle on some fires to put them out. It was funny. Love that movie. Alright, we're about to see how this texture is going to work out, and if my stone block carving is going to not suck. Probably will, but it's okay. It's fine, chat. It'll work. So I don't want as much of this texture as is actually there, so I'm kind of hoping this fills in a bit. I just want some of that texture because it looked just creepy and spidery and bleh. So kind of excited to see how it works out with everything all blended together. Guess we'll find out. Don't forget to get up in all the little cracks. You were gonna forget, weren't you, chat? I know that you were. Artax! Sorry, now I'm thinking about that movie. That was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. And yes, I actually did go see that in the theater. I'm old enough to remember seeing it in the theater. I am an 80s child. I am Mike from Stranger Things. Except more nerdy, and I couldn't get a girlfriend. But you know what? It all worked out in the end. It's fine, Chad. It's fine. I had no use for girlfriends back then. I was too busy being a nerd. Girls were just getting in the way and being all girly and stuff. Getting in the way of my nerdism. You know how girls are. Not being nerds. Am I going to get lynched by chat? It's fine, chat. I do like girls. I have 3 of them. Well, 4, if you count my wife. But see, I nerded mine up. They are super nerds. Even more of a nerd than I was, which is now. See, back in the 80s, that wasn't cool. But now, nerds rule. So I made sure to nerd them up real good. I mean, you know, nerds are going to own the world anyway. Look at Bill Gates. I mean, doesn't get more nerdy than him, right? And he has all the monies. I'm sure you guys came here to hear me wax philosophical about all my weird ideas, but you know what? That's what you get when you come to my channel. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, I love getting to this stage of the project. Means the main building is parts are done and I can get on to the detailing, which is what I like to do. And this part, I mean, is when a piece actually looks like a piece instead of lots of pieces. So this foam core back here is a little hard to cover with this stuff. It doesn't like to stick the first time. So definitely have to do multiple coats with it. There. Just gotta get the steps and then I think Weezebee's done. On my second coat I'll do the bottom because I need to have somewhere for this thing to sit and dry. See if I got any bits I can cover while I'm... So, yeah, I think that is going to come out pretty good. I mean, it'll look a lot better after the second coat and we smooth things out a bit, but... Right, chat? Right, Terrainoob. We believe in you. You're the best Terrainoob ever. Some more of this texture filled in because I don't want all of it. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. All right. Now that I've made a mess of myself, turn around. Tell me what you see in your face. Vision of your dreams. Chat, sing me something, get this song out of my head. It's driving me crazy. Stinks to infinity. What, the Mod Podge? Yeah, it definitely does. It is not pleasant smelling stuff. Works well, but whew, couldn't they put a little, I don't know, essential oil or something in there? Something. I mean, everything else in the world has some kind of perfume added to it. Why couldn't Mod Podge? Okay, I'm gonna have to wash that brush out. It's full of goo. Ah! Hey, at least that's not hot glue, right, chat? I mean... Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. When I went on vacay, I had a vision for my first t-shirt. I know what it has to be. It's gonna be a picture of me holding my hands out. And across the top it says, "It's fine, chat." Is that a t-shirt or what? I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna see if I can get Prodigy to do the art for me. A little cartoon me looking at my melty hands. And say, "It's fine, chat." Oh. Mod Podge on my fingers. So, where are we at here? So I'm going to work some more on... I'm going to get the other coats of these on this week. Once the first coat's dry. And then... Oh, you like that? Like that idea for a shirt? And then I'm going to... I'll make some more of these. The base things. Because you don't need to watch me make more of these. I'm just going to mass produce them. The only other thing I'm going to do is make some of them just crosses. Maybe one of those, because I doubt we're going to have more than one of those at a time. And a couple of corner pieces. So same kind of stuff. It's just which blocks I cut out. So nothing special there. And then we will get on to making the backings for them. The modular backings for them, because we need to be able to switch these around and put them in whatever order. But I mean, see, it's not going to look like a sewer without having some kind of back, and some of them have pipes coming out and water and sewage leaking out into the stream, and but I need them modular so that the backs can be detached from these pieces and rearranged and put back together. So we're going to work on a system for doing that next week as well. Get that started, and then we'll do the detailing work on this and start prepping it for the acrylic pour and stuff for the actual goo water. So I think that's about all I can get into right now, because now it's dry time. So and we have to go play our Sniper Elite 4 and get our shoots in. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll be having a lot of fun next week, so please make sure you stop by and say hi next week, and we will get some fun detailing stuff going. That's where it gets really interesting. We've been doing the boring build part, which maybe some of you guys like that. That's not my favorite. My favorite is the detailing, and that comes now. So we will be doing that next week. We will be working on quite a few things over the next couple of months. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Please make sure you like, subscribe, follow, mash all the buttons, ding all the bells, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Thank you, Sid, for the cheer. I appreciate it. As always, I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you soon. Until next time, build on.